Hey, my name's Barry Frame. I'm one of the sim production lecturers here at Fife College, and welcome back to another Pro Tools micro lecture. In this lecture we're going to be looking at Pro Tools session management, the importance of it, how we can move one Pro Tools session to another computer, but more importantly how to keep it all together. So we'll check out. Okie doke, so as you can see I've started up Pro Tools. I've now got my dashboard dialog box in front of me, and I don't want to create a new session. And just so you know guys, if you've forgotten how to create a session, remember the video before this one will show you exactly how to do that. What I want to do is I want to open up a recent session. Because this lecture is based on file structure, I named a session earlier today file structure. So I'm going to click on that and hopefully it'll open. Now, this is one of the biggest problems that lecturers encounter with students using Pro Tools for the first time, usually encounter. It's telling us, right, okay, we've found the session, however, there is 2 audio files missing. So why are they missing? Well, normally it's down to user error, either by not saving the project correctly, or more typically when you've worked on a session on one computer and then you move it to another computer, you haven't moved the session correctly. Now, most of the times if we click automatically find and relink, it can work and it'll be great. However, in this circumstance it is not. So if I play this audio here, I've got a wee task manager coming up here. This is just telling us that it's still trying to find the files, but the search result is the relink is not being found, so it cannot find the files. So if I play this, nothing. There's nothing shown on my meters there, and there's no waveforms within the clip there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up the actual folder, and we'll go have a wee chat about exactly what is in these folders and how to move them about. So here on my desktop is where my file structure Pro Tools session folder is. Now if I open this, you will now see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different folders and 2 other files. This folder here, the audio files folder, this is where all of the audio files by default get stored within your Pro Tools session. So if you record into Pro Tools, it will automatically go into this folder here. If you import audio into Pro Tools, it will save in there. Unless you tell it otherwise, by default it will go in there. We recommend, as well as everybody else does, don't touch the default setting, just let it store there, okay? Bounce files, again there will be a future lecture on the bounce files folder. Essentially all this is, once we are finished with a project and we want to render that project out or bounce that project out, this is the folder that it will, again by default, it will automatically save to. We've got clip groups in here, we don't really need to know much about that. Session file backups, very handy here. Pro Tools allows us, or basically automatically saves your session every 5 minutes, I believe it is. We'll double check that and get back to you, but I'm sure it is 5 minutes automatically. This is really handy if you're working on a session and perhaps your session will crash, as software does sometimes. This folder here can be your lifeline. This will show you all your different session backups, and as I say, they're usually every 5 minutes they get saved. You'll locate the one that you were last working on, or the last one that was saved, double click that and that will open your session back up, hopefully. Then you've got your video files folder. So in future projects you'll be working with video files and we'll be importing video files. Actually there'll be another tutorial video on how to import video files and audio, etc. And again, this is where the video files get stored. So as you can see there, our audio files folder is empty. So this can be because of a number of things. The most common problem that we find is that students Instead of saving this full entire session, so that full file structure, instead of moving that full file structure folder to their local hard drive, their pen drive, whatever, students think, there's the Pro Tools session there, I'm just going to take that. And they take it away, and as you can see, it's now on my desktop. This only contains what they call the metadata, okay? It's only storing the session info. It does not store any of the bounce files, any of the audio files, the video files, session backups, nothing. Hence the reason, when I opened this file here, I got this, okay? So, I'm now going to put the audio files back in this folder, and I'm going to show you the correct way of saving your session. Right, okay, so I've fixed my session. My audio file's now back in the folder where it should be, and now if I hit play, I'll turn this volume down first so we don't get it through the microphone. If I now hit play, you know it's playing because of the meters going up and down there. So, now what I would like to say is this is only one track that I'm working with, okay? You typically will have 6+ tracks, okay, maybe for your first project, and that will only be getting bigger as the projects and academic year goes on. So, the best way to do this is you want to go to File, you hit Save, okay? Now what that does is, that's going to save your file to the main Pro Tools session that you've got open just now, okay? However, if you want to move this file to another location, to another system, we go through the following steps. First of all, we go to File. We go to this option here, which is Save Copy In. Okay? This is going to allow us to save this copy in a different hard drive. So we get presented with the Save Copy In dialog box. Now, it's asking us, okay, what type of format would you like? Now, the good thing about Pro Tools is it allows us, if we wish, we can open this session, which is on the latest version of Pro Tools, we can open this on a previous version just by selecting one of these options. So, for example, if you've got Pro Tools 8 at home and you couldn't open the latest session, Pro Tools will allow you to save it as a Pro Tools 8 session and open that back home. The only kind of downside about that is you will lose some of the added features. So for example, clip gain, you would lose features like that going back the way, but still very handy and does allow you to crack on with your work. I've actually got the latest version at home, so I'm just going to leave that at latest. Next, the session parameters. Now these are normally saved as what you've already got the session open as. So again, there shouldn't be no reason to touch these, okay? Unless you maybe want to change the sample rate, bit depth for a video reason. Again, we'll get more at that in class time. But just for the time being, we'll leave that as is. Right, the important stuff. Items to copy, okay? So as well as saving the session, what else would we like to take from this session? Audio files. You must enable audio files in order for the audio files to be carried on to your new session. What else you'll find is, as the projects go on, you'll eventually be working with movie and video files. So again, if I had a movie and video file in here, I would select this as well, okay? And that would make, or that would store the video file that I've got in the video files folder. However, in this instance, I've not got any movies or video files, so I'll just uncheck that. All I'm interested in is the audio files. I select OK. Now, this is asking me, right, okay, where would I like to save it to? Now, what we recommend is you have a copy saved on the desktop computer you were working on, and also save a copy to your USB stick, okay, or your hard drive. Now, when you input a hard drive in, or your USB stick, it will appear here in the devices. I haven't got one to hand just now, but it will appear here. You would select that as your location. As this is just a demonstration I'm showing you, I'm just going to save mine to the desktop, okay? but it would still look the exact same way on your pen drive. Now it was asking me, okay, what file name would you like to call this new copy of the session? I'm just going to keep it the same copy of file structure, but I'm going to put in the date, which is 24/08/18. That just lets me see what date this session was last opened, or created rather. So we go that, okay, desktop, and then we hit save. And it's done it that quick. The load bar never even came up there. So here we've got copy of file structure to 24/08/18. I double click into that. Here we've got the session and the audio files. Now I know what you're thinking, well okay, where is all the other folders, all of these? When you open a Pro Tools session, the bounce folders, clip groups, session file backups, video files and the wave cache all get created automatically within a session. So if I double click this, I'll just hit save on my last session. Okay, dokes. It's working fine. I'll go back into that folder. Because I've now opened the file, you'll now see all those folders and files existing. Now don't get me wrong, we could copy this entire folder to desktop or your pen drive, whatever. However, the way we recommend at Fife is do a save copy in. Another thing is just make sure that your files are always named correctly and make sure they are in the correct place. So for example, on your desktop you should have a folder on one of the hard drives with your name, like this one here. If I double click into this, I see project 1, okie doke, and then I just copy that in to there. I don't do a save copy in when I'm actually in the desktop. It's more for when I'm saving it to an external device such as a USB stick or a hard drive. So there we have it, file structure and management. If you have any other questions or if there's anything else you would like me to answer, please just send me an email at barryframe@fife.ac.uk. And remember, you can ask any of the other lecturers anything as well. So thanks again guys, and I'll see you next time.